It is the Going On Daily Live show. It is a beautiful day. I am Sharon, your host. We have Kyle and Laura above me. I changed a little.
You got a haircut.
Yeah,
Your
Sharon
voice changed
under the
too.
weather, so she could barely talk. So we said, Sharon, go rest.
Yeah.
Go rest.
Yeah.
She'll be back next week, and I'm sure she'll be ready to go. She'll be anxious because she's now going 2 weeks in a row. She had the storms rolling through, and now she's sick. With the flu. That happens.
Storms.
I'm fighting it. I'm not nearly as bad as Sharon, but I'm here. I don't know how I'll be tomorrow, but I'm here. We got a great show for you, and I'll tell you, I got to thank WDJY first and foremost for airing us on Metro Atlanta's radio station. And let me tell you, we're shooting all the way to number one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're already number one on the radio station. But we're going to take over. It's a takeover. So you'll be able to find us tonight. And if you're listening, then you already know when. But every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, mind you, in Atlanta. Thursdays, 5 p.m., Fridays, 10 a.m., and Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. You get a double shot episode, and you don't want to miss it. So thank you, WDJY, for airing us. I also want to thank Mace Fitness and Soul Spectives Institute for sponsoring the show. And they got the banners up there above Laura, and let me tell you, fantastic. You want to get involved in that as well. You can heal your physical self and your inner self. I think that's great. So check that out. We'll have the ads for you later on. You'll be able to check it out. And let's get right into this. Let's get right into it. We're going to talk about pranking fathers.
Yes. I was thinking about what to do for fathers, and I was trying to think of something that was in common between my father, who was amazing, and my husband, who is an amazing father. And they have many similarities, and many are boring, like lawyers. Nobody wants me to talk about that. So I was trying to think of an entertaining thing that I could talk about for both of them. And the thing that comes to mind about both of them is they both could be stand-up comedians, and they're both very funny.
Yeah.
So I was going to think about talking about dad jokes, but they have the typical dad jokes that were not funny. So, dads always think they're funny.
No, I like them.
You like the dad jokes?
They're totally funny. They're totally funny.
Yes. And no, they're funny. And I was going to say the ones that my father said growing up, but I heard them 200 times, and I heard the ones that my husband says 200 times. So I thought about what else they do as fathers that's funny, and they both did a lot of pranks. So growing up, I was in a pranking family. We all pranks on each other, and now I love that we do pranks in my family too. So I am going to discuss a couple that my dad did, a couple that my husband did, and then a couple that every dad could do that we've done, that we've Googled before. And not just dads, I've done some of them as moms too, but it's funny. So to start, my dad was the biggest prankster of all. He was one of those guys where if you met him, you'd say, "What's your name?" And he'd be like, "I'm Derek Jeter. Nice to meet you." He just always did pranks. So he was one of the ones that you would go to open the car door and he'd drive away. I think they finally figured out that was unsafe.
My dad did that too.
Yeah. It was pretty common. I think they must have figured out that was unsafe because nobody does that anymore. So he used to do that. But one of the funniest pranks he played was on my friends when we were younger. And I just went to my 25th high school reunion, and not one, but 2 friends said this is the biggest prank they've ever done, and they still have their heart beating from it. Figured I'd share. So as I spoke about yesterday, my dad used to take me to Yankee Stadium a lot, and he would take a friend with me often, which was awesome. We loved to show people their first Yankee game, and we would take the subway to get there. And a lot of teens or tweens were nervous coming from New Jersey to go on the subway in New York City, as you can imagine. So my dad and I would say, don't worry, we'll tell you when it's 3 stops to get off, 2 stops when to get off, 1 stop when to get off, and walk you off the subway. Don't worry. So that's what we tell them in the car to relax them. And my dad would give me a thumbs up about 5 stops before Yankee Stadium. And like right before the doors are closing, we're like, oh my God, we got to go. Here's the stop. And me and my dad would run out and pretend like we're going to get out of the subway. And my friend would be sitting there and having a heart attack because she thought that we would leave her in the subway. So that's the kind of prankster my dad was. And my friends still remember the heart beating because we pretended like we were going to leave them in the subway when we were going to Yankee Stadium. But my dad would never leave an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old on a subway on the way to Yankee Stadium. That's the prank my dad did. That my husband did that was funny. It was actually, we were on a cruise, and 2 of my kids are very competitive. And they kept saying they wanted to go in the casino. Obviously, you can't go in the casino if you're underage. But we played a trick on my daughter that my son was with my husband and pulled down the slot machine and won $10,000.
Wait, how did you pull that off? Doesn't it make all kinds of noise?
No, she wasn't there. We just said we went to the casino. This is what happened. He went to the business center, printed out like a voucher that said it, but it said Matt Chiller. So we said he pulled it down, but Brody pulled it down. So we have to give the $10,000 to Brody, but Matt pretended that it was his because he was right with him. So that Brody won $10,000. My daughter flipped out all day. She was like, I should get a third of it. It's not fair. Blah, blah, blah. Because I have 3 kids. And then at the end of the day, it was really fun to tell her April Fool's Day. So that was a prank we did on my daughter. And then another prank he did on my daughter was we were once going for a hot air balloon ride, and she was running late. And he went ahead and he texted me and her and said, because you're late, we can't go anymore. But it was really because of weather that we couldn't go anymore. So she felt bad for a day that we missed the hot air balloon ride because of her lateness, but it really was just because it was bad weather. So we love to prank in this house. That's what we do.
That was a normal thing in our house too. Just it was just relentless too. I mean, it would be, just nonstop.
Us too, yes.
Nonstop. Mm-hmm.
Me too. Growing up, and now it's the same with my family. With my kids, April Fool's Day is almost like a national holiday. I start thinking about it around now, what I could do for next year for April Fool's Day. And we go really big. And I try to sometimes do it, a week before April Fool's to really get them. Because on April Fool's, obviously, everyone's on guard that's in my life because I do this to everyone in my life. So, and so does my husband. And my dad used to also. That's where I get it from.
So that's our warning, Ron. I think. Yeah. So
it is a warning. Yes.
We're going to get it.
Everyone's going to get it. Exactly.
I pulled an awesome prank on my parents, and I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school, and, I had to do detention at school. So I had to call them and let them know where I was going to be. So, of course, I decided to expand it a little more trouble than what it actually was. I had told them that I had gotten arrested for trying to skip school, and I'm at the police station. You have to come and get me, blah, 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 the whole bit. And I was caught, vandalizing. And, so they went down to the police station to go get me. Of course, I wasn't there. But it made them look really stupid going in there. Where's my son?
That is amazing.
Oh, man.
So, I was known to get at them just as much as them getting at me. So,
oh yes, I definitely got at my parents just as much. One April Fool's, I'll never forget it. I put pink dot. It was like I was like 5 or 6, so my parents thought I was too young to understand April Fool's Day, but I was not. And I put pink dots all over my body and said I was itching and I don't know what it is. And it was at night and they were calling doctors and I just be like, it's itches so much, I don't know what to do. And then after a couple hours, I started hysterically laughing and they realized that I was faking it. But always pranking.
Oh, Hugo has a good one. Welcome, Hugo. Sharon is in the chat. Get some rest, Sharon. Get some rest.
He's mad you to go to sleep.
Hugo says when Laura one day says she dislikes the Yankees and is now a Red Sox fan, you know she's pranking you.
Oh, absolutely. You might want to get me help if I say that I am a Red Sox fan.
See, that's a good one to do for your family.
Yeah,
you think?
We're now Red
aren't
Sox
they sports fans.
Yeah, huge sports fans. Until we're now Red Sox fans. Yeah, I think
good
that
one.
would.
Also, Lilac is in the chat as well, so welcome.
Welcome.
It's always the quiet ones. Yeah, see, Sharon said it's always the quiet ones you got to watch out for. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So but my husband and I have thrown, my husband is just as much a prankster, if not more. So we've done some other ones that we have researched before this that have done. So other people have done this. We didn't come up with these, but I wanted to explain some other funny pranks that people have done. I don't know if anyone has heard of Chris Burt Martin, but he became famous because he would imitate his daughter. So if my husband did this, my daughters would probably kill him. But he would imitate, they go on vacation and they go to college and they take all these pouty face pictures and put on crop tops. So he would put on the crop top. He would do his hair, like put on a wig to look like his daughter. He would do the exact pose, which everyone, knows what that pose is of tweens or teens. And he even drew her tattoos with a Sharpie to make it that much similar. And then on his social media, he would just post the side by side of him and his daughter. And so every time, so she just stopped posting on social media.
Oh man. That's a field day for a father, right?
Yeah.
When they do all that social media stuff and, kids will be kids and parents will be parents.
Parents will be parents, exactly.
And they will turn it around on you and then just totally embarrass you.
Exactly.
That's what they're supposed to do, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that one we have not tried because our kids would not be happy. But one that we did try is when you get a new appliance, like a toaster, Matt put a label that said, "This is voice activated. Speak very clearly into the toaster." And it looked like a fancy label that came on. We got this from the internet. We're not that funny in person. We just came up with it from the internet.
That's pretty good. I like that.
It was amazing. Toast. We have videos of like our kids being like, "Please toast 1 minute." And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you have to do like light, dark, like pretending it was the first date. So they're like, toast, dark, toast, light. And I'm like, maybe we have to say something else. And they just go. It was amazing.
That's pretty good. I like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, so that was a good one. And another one that my husband did, and they were going crazy, is a lot of our technology is on his phone. So from work, he'll just pretend like he's dimming lights out of nowhere. And he would turn the TV on and off and flicker lights. And then the kids would start to get scared. We leave them home alone, so they're 14 and 12. So we would do this when they were home alone and pretend. And they'd be like, "I think there's a ghost." And we're like, "Did you not say hello to the friendly ghost today?" And they flip out. So you can do that if you have a lot of technology. And that's what we do. We do a lot of pranks. And I learned it from my father. And I'm glad I married such a prankster too. And I love hearing about all pranks.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. The toaster is just awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my God, I could only imagine. I wish I could have done that to my mom. She would have gotten so mad she would have threw it.
You have to like videotape it if you do it to someone now because it's so funny.
Oh, you have to.
Mm.
Oh gosh,
I
I
was
can picture it though.
I was thinking about the extra remote for the TV and sneaking out front and then turning the TV off while they're watching
I've
TV
done
or
that to my
the
mom.
channels. Like, what is going on? This stupid
I've done
TV.
that because in the living room that she had, there's a window right there, and she always sat
Mhm.
in the chair that faced the
Mhm.
TV,
Yep.
which you can't look out the
Yep.
window.
Yep.
So I would get like a little ladder, put it on the side of the house, and she would change the channel, put it on something she wants. Soon as she puts down the remote, beep, she
Oh.
gets so mad. It's so funny. Oh, the good times. See, you can't replace that. You can't replace that.
No.
That's just
Yeah.
those are just phenomenal. And now that just lit up the chat. Mickey says, "Remember the fake legs that
Mhm.
hung out of the trunk
Yeah.
car door?" Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. We used that a few times, pretending to shut the door on our foot. Hugo says, "I have control over my parents' TVs. I can mess with them." So he
Ah,
can do it from remotely. And that's fantastic. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. I did the remote thing too, Mickey says.
Mhm.
Sharon, Ron, oh my God, too funny. Your poor mom. Oh, yes. I put her through hell. Put her through hell.
Mhm.
So it's amazing that I was her favorite. I'm sure I was. I'm sure I was. Good times. That is just awesome. The pranks, they're the best. They're the best. It just
yeah.
funny things that happen. I mean, it just it's endless. I'll have to tell you some stories about my father. That's probably what I'll end up talking about today. Um all right, so I guess it's time to do some social media stuff. So
Hmm.
here's Mickey with all our socials.
Watch us live at YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch at Rhode Island Broadcasting, X and Twitter at Broadcasting RI, Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. Listen to us on all of our audio platforms such as Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music at RI Broadcasting. You can also follow us on all of our socials at MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Gab, Parler, and Space Hay at RI Broadcasting, and Reddit at RI-Broadcasting. And support the show on Rhode-IslandBroadcasting.net. We thank you for listening, following, and watching.
Spectacular. It is time now for voting for the Hall of Fame, and it's looking like this is going to be another record-breaking vote. As I look at these stats right now, we are nearing. I think we're only like 6 votes away from breaking our record for the amount of votes. Now that I
Oh.
see it.
Wow.
Oh.
So vote Good Times, The Jeffersons, Different Strokes, What's Happening, Sanford and Son. Vote for the Hall of Fame's best TV show out of those 5 to follow the footsteps of Golden Girls and X-Files. Right now, Good Times is up with 44%, and The Jeffersons with 33% is second. So get in there, stop voting, just scan the QR code right there and follow it through. It takes like 10 seconds, if that. Now, if you're listening to us on the radio and you obviously can't see that QR code right there, you can go to Rhode-IslandBroadcasting.net and then go to the Going On Daily page. It'll be right there. You'll see the QR code right underneath the videos, and you can vote by doing that. Or just watch us live every day.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, of
So-
course.
So vote. Let's get into Kyle. You're going to be talking about some forgotten dads.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I mean, went all the way from hilarious to, oh man, we're going a little serious
It's the
now.
extreme on the other side.
Yeah, on the other side. Yeah, it's one of those things, and I think, stepdads is really one of the ones that I'm looking at and thinking about. But I also realize that there are so many other fathers, dads, however we want to refer to them, that are forgotten as well. And I think a lot of it is of course in unhealthy relationships. I see that a lot in toxic, abusive relationships, and the fathers are pushed out, or they're in some way they are removed from the picture, whether or not they actually wanted to be removed. And certainly not talking about all of the dads that opt out, and that's a whole different conversation for a different day. But really talking about a lot of the ones that would show up and would like to be there and can't be there in the life because of a lot of different reasons. And there, in a lot of ways, what happens is the kids are trained and programmed that it's not okay for them to have communication with their dads. And in a lot of ways, what happens is they'll, there will be a lot of triangulation, which, if people are not familiar with that is really turning everyone against each other. And so what happens then is, for the kids, they understand that in order to not be in trouble or cause chaos or have problems with mom, and this happens in all kinds of relationships, but this, specifically talking today about with dads. And so the kids, knowingly or unknowingly, and most of the time it's not in their conscious awareness that this is what's going on, but it's one of those things that especially in these situations, they can't understand what's actually going on, because understanding what's actually happening threatens the relationship that they have with their other.
And Kyle, they kind of blame themselves. The kids blame themselves for, both parents not being there, whatever the situation is.
Absolutely.
And it is the furthest from the truth. It's almost always because of a broken relationship.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm a lawyer, and I actually used to do some matrimonial law. So I dealt with this for years, and I saw, and you're right, it's very hard mentally to do that, because it was a lot of kids that came in, and you see the parents interact with the kids. And yes, Kyle, a lot of times it's like, don't talk to dad. And I've dealt with a lot of divorce, and it is a situation, and I've seen it many times.
Yeah, and it's really hard, I think, for the dad specifically, and I've seen this with different ones that I'm not going to say they're the best people in the world, but the way that they are made out to be is just awful, terrible people.
Yeah, there's a very big spectrum on everything that transpires, and there's a lot of fathers that it's their fault, and they just whether they care or not, they just disappear or whatever. But then there's also that spectrum where they are forced out, and because the relationship is over, there is some spite there.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to see your child.
And there's always,
and it works.
There's always two sides to the story, right?
Yeah.
So the children are hearing, and typically, I mean, it's not typical, but a lot of times they do hear the mom story, and they're going by the mom story, talking about dads. It could go either way. But a lot of times they do hear the mom story, and so they take the mom side, and they think, and listen, it's not necessarily wrong facts, as I've realized. necessarily.
yeah.
But there's wrong facts that they learn, but there's interpretation of facts.
Right.
I think that if you hear one side of the story, yes, you could think A is evil, but if you hear A side of the story, you could think B is evil, and it's probably C is probably correct, right? There's probably a mix in the middle that is absolutely correct. And there's just always two sides, but children are young and they don't necessarily, they're not old and mature enough to understand.
Yeah, they don't have that deduction. That,
well, and
you know,
and also they understand, even though it's not usually a conscious understanding, but they understand if they see through that and they see that, oh, you know, actually my dad or stepdad or whoever it was is not actually as evil as what mom is bringing up, she will also see that, and then their relationship with their mom won't be safe. And that's what happens in a lot of those relationships. Is it's not a conscious thing at all, and in a lot of ways their subconscious is not allowing for it to become conscious, for them to actually see what's going on, because it threatens their relationship with the other parent. And so, you know, and if we look back, you know, hundreds of years ago, that literally was a threat to our own survival, literally living, if we were outcasted from the community. And so this is an ingrained, deep emotional, physiological thing.
And I'll tell you, Kyle, you mentioned it. You could have an evil dad, right? An evil guy. But when he's with the child, he could be completely different. And, you know, they just might be a little different when they're, you know, communicating with their child. And even if they are a horrible person, you know, in normal everyday life, there's still that value if they're going to be with the child and, you know, conduct as normal, you know, as a normal person in a relationship. You just don't want that other outside part of it in there. And sometimes that could happen. You know, you can.
I think
that
that's
line.
Yeah, and I think that's usually usually an exception.
It is usually an exception. I'm just saying,
because
it's possible.
usually in those types of relationships where it's not actually a good person, but they're good with the kids, there is something that they are getting from the kids or showing what a good parent
of course they're hiding it from them, but
which is not specifically what I'm talking about.
No,
today,
but I'm just saying, you set up the evilness. And you know my mind is gonna wander.
Well, and I think that's, you know, that's definitely a different situation, and unfortunately there's a lot of parents that want to be a good parent so that they can show what a good parent they are and what good kids they have, rather than being an actual good parent.
Hugo says, oh, sorry, Kyle. Hugo says, kids always see things and eventually understand the truth. Hopefully, I'm the stepdad of a couple of kids and they have realized that their actual dads only put a facade.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because I have discussed this with friends before and we've had open discussions about it. And it's kind of like, when do the kids see through that? And do they? And hopefully they do, and form their own opinions. And I've seen some real life cases where, you know, some of my friends have, you know, got through that. And I only have a limited experience with it because I've only had a few friends have that experience. But I always wonder, and I hope that they see the truth when they're older, if it's actually a good dad. And I hope that they can repair their relationship. And I think with a lot of therapy, a lot of things are possible.
Well, and I definitely agree with that. And I think that the big difference and what I look at is if, and we'll not say specifically, but if we say that the one parent is a toxic parent, then hopefully the child doesn't end up the same way.
Right.
And if they do, they're not ever going to probably see that unless they see a benefit from having the relationship with the other parent. And so they're looking for something to get out of it, just as the toxic parent would do as well. If I can use you for something, then you get to be in my life. And if I can't, then you don't. Now, hopefully with the rest of them, they will do enough work and see that, oh gosh, maybe the other parent wasn't as bad as what they were. And I think that, the hardest part is with all of us, we do things that are dysfunctional. I would love to say that somebody anywhere, someone is perfect and they don't do dysfunctional things, but I'm pretty doubtful on that. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. And I think, the difference is owning all of your stuff, which if it's a toxic parent, they're not going to own their stuff. It is always going to be the other parent's fault, which then the kids, of course, can't acknowledge or see or talk about, because then it threatens the relationship. So it's this one's a hard one. And really, I just want to really shout out to all of the fathers that are out there that have lost contact, that don't have contact. I certainly have my own story in all of this, and I know how hard that is and how hard it is to work through. And I think, what I say is that I have a really good relationship with my kids, but they don't have one with me. And I'm okay with that, because I feel good about what I did. And, certainly regrets and things, but I realize that's the only way to really move forward and show up, not only for yourself, but also to be available for them.
Yeah, it's like you're accepting it and you're doing what you could do in your control to be a great father. So I commend you. You're a great father and you're doing what you could do. And that's all you could do. Control what you could control. And you're doing everything right. And that's all you could do.
Yeah. And leave the,
dad does make a difference.
Yeah. And leave the door open.
Always. Yep. Exactly.
And that's one of the big things. Leave that now this is not an unconditional door, just like it is with all other relationships. I think boundaries are hugely important, but leaving that door open for reconnection, for understanding any of those other things. But for all those dads out there that are going through this, have struggled through this, much love to all of them.
All right, it is time for our sponsors to get what they want to say. So let's go to Mace Fitness and Soul Spectives Institute.
Looking for a fitness app that actually fits in your life, not the other way around? The Mace Fitness app is your personal fitness coach in your pocket. That's M-A-S-E. Mace Fitness app makes fitness simple and affordable. The build your own workout option allows you to choose the exercises, the focus area, and the pace that works best for you. This app feature is only $9 a month. You'll get over 630 guided exercise videos, build your own workout tools, strength, mobility, balance, and flexibility training, easy to follow instructions, fitness anytime, anywhere. Mace Fitness, just $9 a month.
Sometimes you can feel lost in the forest of your mind, caught up in mistakes you can't change, looking ahead, uncertain what comes next, questioning if things will ever get easier, and if you've missed your chance. But the fact is that every moment is a new chance to change and choose a new direction. The fastest way to stop the pain and gain the new insight needed is through guidance from someone who has walked the path before you that can teach you to find your own answers from within. If any of this sounds familiar and you're looking for a way through from where you are to where you long to be, then let's connect. Check out soulspectivesinstitute.com today and book your discovery call, and we can see where we can go from there.
All right, there we go. Like Lilac said earlier, both inside and out there. Danny is here. Gotta welcome Danny to the show. So good morning, Danny. How are you?
Danny.
And so I don't have any fancy graphics for me because I'm not Sharon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could tell that or not, but but we are talking about dad, so I figured, all right, I have about 1 billion stories about my dad, so I might as well say a few. And they were both funny and, dare I say, even heroic.
Mm.
I remember as a little kid, we were swimming in I don't even know where we were. It's like there was this like little beach, and there was a little island in the water, and I'm guessing it was the Taunton River,
Mm.
and we were in Fall River, and me and my friend were on a tube, big, huge, tire tube kind of thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we were in a tube and we're just floating, drifting out further and further. And I remember, hey, waving to everybody on the shore, and they were like panic stricken. And you see them start running around, and it's like, oh, what's going on now? What's going on at the beach? Little did we know, me and my friend were starting to drift out into the ocean.
Oh.
A current grabbed us, and we started like going super fast. Now, my dad was a very good swimmer. He won awards, at the YMCA and all that stuff for competitions and stuff like that.
Mm.
By the time he got to us, we were like a half a mile away.
Were you guys
And we were in the current, and he's cruising. He swam all the way out there to get us, and then dragged us through the current back
Ugh.
to bring us to safety. It was just one of those things. We had no clue what was happening.
Mhm.
And it's like when we get to the beach, my mom was like, "What were you thinking?"
You guys were
And like we still didn't even know what was going on. What was
Oh,
the
so
big
you didn't have
deal?
any fear.
We didn't know what was happening. We were
What
just
are you
enjoying
mad about?
the ride.
We're just having fun.
Yeah. And we didn't understand why my mom was so upset. Thank God your father's a good swimmer. So it was just one of those things, right? So there was all kinds of, it seemed like water was a common theme because, I remember we were playing croquet. Now, our croquet games are much more on the side of miniature golf than croquet. You put it through the hoops. Our hoops were like up fences, down the street. So it was anywhere where it could be very difficult to get it in the hoop, right? It wasn't just straight shots. So one day, we're all playing, and we decided that we were going to throw my father into the pool. So it was me and a friend, my sister's boyfriend. We all ganged up on him, picked him up, and threw him into the pool. Well, he had a cigarette in his mouth, right? So he goes underwater. He comes up. The cigarette was still lit in his mouth.
Oh.
And we're like, how the hell is that even possible? He just went underwater.
That is so funny.
It was just stuff like that happens all the time. And, we had, at the time, my sister had a very horrible husband. He was a predator. We'll just say that. And one day we all came home from a family gathering at a restaurant, and we're going into the house, and these three guys basically tried to go after him and get into the house, and and the whole bit. So he was cowering like a little kid, and my dad was trying to get out of the house because they were trying to like beat him down and hold everybody in the main part of the house. While my father went down the stairs through the basement, and somebody was holding the door shut. He ripped the entire door off the casing. Got out, picked up a shovel as the guy is running, and threw it at him. And he hit him, and he knocked him down, and he ended up catching him. And it was just some of those moments that, you know, I mean, we didn't know what was happening at the time, but we later found out that they were coming after my brother-in-law because he was a predator and got one of their family members. And you know, then it was on, because then my family was going after him too once we found out. So I ran him over with a car. So that was pretty awesome. But you know, so it was like those moments that, you know, you just don't forget those, and they're so simple. You know, we had times, okay, so when it snows, you know, he would be out there in the yard building a slide in the yard. So he would make the steps and everything, so you can just climb up the steps and slide down, and whee, there you go. And the yard was long enough where, you know, you didn't always hit the fence.
Only
you know,
sometimes.
you had to have a good takeoff in order to hit that fence. You know, and that was always the goal. I don't know why, but it was always the goal to hit the fence. But then when you hit the fence, it doesn't feel good. So
no, it does not.
It was like, why are we doing this? But you try to hit the fence every time.
Absolutely.
So there was a lot of stories, and you know, it's stuff that you should never forget. Of course,
it's all the funny ones that stick out in my mind about my
you
dad.
know, it is. It is. Most of the times, you know, it's like, you know, learning how to drive. You know, it's like that can't be too safe. You know, teaching somebody how to drive when they've never driven before.
I remember the night before I was getting my license, I didn't know how to parallel park. And you have to parallel park. You can fail one thing in New Jersey, actually, but I didn't want to fail parallel parking. So my dad stayed out with me till 3 a.m. trying to teach me how to parallel park. And he's like, I do not get. And he just kept getting out, trying to teach me till 3 a.m. And he's like, I don't even get this. You'll just have to fail one. It's totally fine. You'll still get your license. But I lucked out so much because I go to my driving test, and the lady who gave me my driving test gave me step-by-step directions, just like my dad did, to parallel park. So she taught me how to parallel park on my driving test. So it was great. But yes, you remember your dad. I remember my dad being very fearful when I was learning how to drive and when I was learning how to parallel park, for sure. I still don't know how to parallel park. I'm still not good at it.
Yeah, you know, my dad taught me how, and I was the first male in my family history to get the license on the first shot.
Nice.
So, you know, that was pretty good, you know, because I mean, I guess my family wasn't the brightest bulb on the tree, you know. the men didn't do so well. They didn't do well in school. They didn't do well on any kind of test whatsoever, and that included the driving test. So, but my dad was a good driver. He was more conservative. My mom was more like Mario Andretti, you know.
Yeah.
My dad would honk and scream at people, and he was the most aggressive driver ever.
Yeah.
And I still get scared that my dad would be behind me because he would tell off people if they didn't make a left turn fast enough. Like, he was a great dad, but very, very aggressive driver. And I am the least aggressive driver. He at times makes, if I was ever driving him, I was too like conservative for him. So he would make me stop the car, and he'd get into the driver's seat so that he could drive. So we'd get to wherever we get 3 minutes faster. But he was just a very, very aggressive driver.
There we go. Go. So, look, I could go on and on, but it's only an hour show. So, but we have a little time. So I figure, let's see what we have for celebrity birthdays, right? Because we haven't done that in a long time. And there's so many great celebrities out there, let me tell you, right? Yeah, we know who they all are. There are many. But Kendrick Lamar, he's 39 years old, the guy that did the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
You didn't?
No.
It was very a lot of people I feel like didn't like it. The last few years, I feel like Super Bowl has been like people have loved it.
Bad Bunny was this past year. I thought he did a really good job. I liked it.
That's Bad Bunny too.
Like that. Venus Williams. Her birthday is today.
Venus.
46 years old. Venus Williams.
Wow.
Right.
I'm a big tennis player, so go Venus.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. And
I don't play as well as her, in case you're curious, but I am a tennis player.
Trying to see if there's anybody else that's good. I don't know.
That's a pretty good one.
Oh, Dan Jansen. Remember the speed skater? Dan Jansen? Olympic gold 1984, 88, and 92. His birthday. So, yeah. I don't see anybody that's like super spectacular, though. Yeah.
All on the B list.
Yeah, all be. Oh, no, wait. There is one. Barry Manilow. His 83rd birthday today.
83rd.
Wow.
So Barry Manilow, happy
I think
birthday.
he still like tours too. Like I think he still sings.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does.
I feel like I saw some friends on Facebook going recently to Barry Manilow. They were obsessed with him when we were younger, and they're still obsessed now. And
that's awesome.
I'm a fan, just not an obsessive fan, but
yeah.
Hugo says we need another Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson halftime show.
Yeah, I agree. Controversial.
See, I would have thought, more like a Prince or a U2 kind of. I like those performances. Those were good. So, Danny says, I am a celebrity. My birthday, born and raised on Mother's Day, May 10th, 1983. He is a Taurus, just in case any of the ladies want to know that out there. Danny, I believe, is an eligible bachelor.
Oh, maybe saying Tupac for the halftime show.
Yeah, I mean, he hung out with me and Kenny.
That's pretty legit.
You would have had to see the episode in order to know that.
Oh,
all right. So let's.
Birthday? Yeah. Is it two?
I thought it was his birthday the other day, not today.
Oh, it was. Anyway.
All right, so let's listen to Becky and her story about Uganda.
Here at Rhode Island Broadcasting and Going On Daily, we're proud to announce that we are collecting donations for our Uganda Fund. My name is Becky, and I've been one of the hosts here at Going On Daily since day one. And earlier this year, I was blessed with the opportunity to travel to Uganda, and it was honestly one of the most life-changing experiences. I met people who completely changed the way I see the world. I met families who had endured unimaginable tragedies, including these two families who lost young children to a witch doctor. I met children who hadn't eaten in days. We even saw 11 children share a single apple because it's all we had left to give them. I met children who fled war in neighboring countries only to find themselves homeless and living on the streets. I saw heartbreak, poverty, and desperation. But what I also saw was joy, the happiness that a single piece of candy, a bracelet, or a small act of kindness could bring was enough to bring tears to my eyes. These are people who have so little, and yet they have more gratitude and joy than many of us could even imagine. We know that there are people who need help in our own communities, and we continue to support local initiatives whenever we can. But this year, our hearts are with Uganda. In partnership with Love Made a Way, 100% of every donation will go directly to initiatives in Uganda. No hidden fees, no deductions. Every dollar goes to help providing food, clean water, education, medical care, safe buildings, sanitation improvements, schools, vocational training, and hope. $1 is worth roughly 3,700 Ugandan shillings, so even a small donation can make a meaningful impact. Maybe it's giving up your Starbucks or your Timmy's today. Whatever you feel led to give, please know that it will help change lives. Thank you for your support, your generosity, and for helping us bring hope to the people of Uganda. Visit www.rhodeislandbroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations to help out.
All right. How about that? The link is in the chat. If you want to help out, please just go there, rhodeislandbroadcasting.net / Uganda donations, and donate whatever you can. Could be $1, could be $10, could be however much you want to do, but every little bit helps. Kenny, I hate to tell you this. I'm not doing a top 5 today, so my top 5 disappoints you yet again. so I wasn't even thinking I was going to be on today, so I'm filling in for Sharon, and so no top 5, unfortunately. Hate to tell you. Kyle, where can they find you?
Kyle Miller Coaching, and at Kyle Miller Coaching on all the platforms. I'm everywhere. Pretty much every single platform you could think of, I'm probably on there. So yeah, happy
Space
to.
Hey?
I'm not actually.
Not everyone you can think of. Then
I know. Okay. All right. I'll have to put that in work on that one. Figure out also a tool that I can automatically post to that one, so I don't have to go in there.
When you find that tool, let me know.
Yeah.
Laura, where can they find you?
Okay, I am Laura Greenberg Schiller on Facebook. I am Laura Schiller 257 on Instagram, and I am working with my tweens to fix my Snapchat and my TikTok, and it's coming out soon.
Okay.
That's one place you can't find Going On Daily is Snapchat. Can't find it.
Maybe we should put it in.
Well, I got you on one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because I'm on Snapchat.
Look, we've had a great time. Tomorrow, Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is Mikey D and JJ back again. They had such a great show last week. Island in the Sun was such a good time, and I'm sure you will enjoy that. I want to thank, and there's a long list of people to thank for being here. Of course. I know Danny was here. Sharon was here. Lilac was here. Mickey was here. Kenny's here. Hugo is here. Danny, I think I've already said Danny, but we'll say it again so that way he knows that we're thanking him for being here. And everybody else that was watching without commenting and will be watching and listening on WDJY in Metro Atlanta 99.1. And of course, we have to thank Mace Fitness and, of course, Soul Spectives Institute for sponsoring the show. That is going to be it for us today. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you guys.